close your eyes. Take a slow, deep breath in and let it out gently. Tonight, we're going on a journey together into the calm and endless ocean. The ocean has always been a place of mystery, peace, and wonder. Its gentle waves, its deep secrets, its timeless rhythm, all of it is here to help you relax. As you listen, I'll share soothing facts about the ocean. Each fact is like a wave, simple, calming, and steady. Some you may already know, others may surprise you. But together, they'll create a gentle flow that carries your mind into a state of deep rest. You don't need to remember everything I say. Just let the words drift by like ripples on water. Allow the rhythm of my voice, the calmness of the ocean facts, and the silence between them to lull you gently towards sleep. The ocean covers more than 70% of Earth's surface. From space, our planet doesn't look green, it looks blue, because of the vast, shimmering water that wraps around it. The Pacific Ocean alone is larger than all the land on Earth combined. Imagine that, one ocean, bigger than every mountain, forest, desert, and city put together. The deepest point in the ocean, the Mariana Trench, reaches nearly 11 kilometers down. If you placed Mount Everest inside, its peak would still be swallowed by the sea. At that depth, the pressure is more than 1,000 times what we feel at the surface. Yet life still exists there, glowing softly in the darkness. 97% of all the water on Earth is in the oceans. The rivers, the lakes, the streams we see every day, they're only a tiny drop compared to the endless sea. Every wave you've ever seen began as energy from the wind. Some waves travel for thousands of miles before they finally break on a shore. We've explored less than 5% of the ocean. That means 95% of it remains unknown, a mystery waiting quietly beneath the surface. In fact, we know more about outer space than we do about the sea beneath our feet. The ocean produces more than half of the oxygen you're breathing right now. Tiny organisms called phytoplankton float near the surface, turning sunlight into the air we need to survive. Every second breath you take is a gift from the sea. Blue whales, the gentle giants of the ocean, are the largest animals to have ever lived. Bigger than the dinosaurs, longer than a basketball court, and weighing more than 200 tons. Their heartbeat can be felt from 2 miles away, steady, calm, and strong. Some jellyfish are immortal. When threatened, they can revert to their younger form, beginning their life cycle all over again. They drift in the water, glowing softly, as if the ocean itself had created its own stars. Sound travels almost 5 times faster in water than in air. This is why whales can sing to one another across entire oceans. Their songs echo for hundreds of miles, weaving a language we still don't fully understand. Sea turtles can live for more than 100 years, returning to the very beach where they were born to lay their eggs. Their journeys can span entire oceans, guided only by the Earth's magnetic field. Octopuses, the clever escape artists of the sea, have 3 hearts and blue blood. They can squeeze through holes no bigger than their eye, vanish in a cloud of ink, and change color in an instant. The ocean floor is dotted with mountains taller than Everest, but hidden beneath the waves. Thousands of underwater volcanoes are constantly shaping new land, though most remain unseen. Bioluminescent plankton make waves sparkle at night. When you walk along certain beaches, each step glows with a burst of blue light. It's as if the sea is filled with stars, reflecting the night sky back to you. There are underwater lakes and rivers, formed where salty water pools more densely on the seafloor. Imagine standing at the bottom of the sea, looking out across another shimmering body of water below. Sharks have roamed the oceans for more than 400 million years. They are older than trees, older than mountains, older than most forms of life we see today. And while sharks may seem frightening, the truth is more calming. Most species are harmless, and essential for keeping the ocean's balance alive. The tides are pulled gently by the moon. Every rise and fall of the water is a quiet dance between the earth, the ocean, and the stars. Some parts of the ocean are so deep and silent that sunlight never touches them. Yet even there, creatures thrive: glowing fish, giant squids, and life forms we still struggle to describe. The Great Barrier Reef in Australia is the largest living structure on Earth. So vast, it can be seen from space. Home to thousands of species, it's like a glowing underwater city, teeming with color and light. Every minute you listen, the ocean is reminding you of its calm. Slow, steady, eternal. Just like the rhythm of your own breathing. Let your thoughts drift with the waves. Let your body sink deeper into rest. Imagine floating gently on the surface of calm water, carried effortlessly by the sea, safe, peaceful, and free. The ocean is home to more than 2 million known species, and scientists believe millions more are still waiting to be discovered. Each wave may carry life forms we've never seen before. Some fish can glow in the dark. Deep beneath the waves, bioluminescent creatures light their own path, creating a universe of stars under the sea. The anglerfish, with its glowing lure, drifts in the dark depths, attracting prey with a small lantern that hangs just above its mouth. Whale sharks, the largest fish in the ocean, are gentle giants. Despite their size, growing as long as a bus, they feed only on tiny plankton, drifting peacefully through warm waters. Dolphins call each other by name. Each one develops a unique whistle that identifies them, just like we use words for names. Seahorses are among the only species where males carry the babies. The father keeps the eggs in a pouch until they hatch, releasing tiny seahorses into the water. Some starfish can regenerate their arms if they lose them. In fact, even a single arm can sometimes grow into a whole new starfish. The Greenland shark is one of the longest living vertebrates on Earth. Scientists believe some have lived for more than 400 years, quietly drifting in the cold northern waters. Every second, the ocean absorbs heat and redistributes it around the globe. Without this constant circulation, Earth's climate would be far harsher. Some waves in the ocean are rogue waves, rising unexpectedly to great heights. Sailors once thought they were myths, but today we know they are real, walls of water that appear suddenly, then vanish just as quickly. The Sargasso Sea in the Atlantic Ocean has no land borders. It is defined only by currents, filled with golden seaweed that floats endlessly on its surface. Penguins may look like they belong on land, but they spend most of their lives swimming through the ocean. Some can dive deeper than 1,000 feet, moving gracefully through the icy waters. The Arctic Ocean is the smallest ocean, but it plays a huge role in balancing Earth's climate. Beneath its frozen surface lies a world of fragile, icy beauty. The Southern Ocean, surrounding Antarctica, is one of the wildest and stormiest places on Earth. Yet it is also one of the most important, helping to circulate nutrients to every other ocean. The average depth of the ocean is around 12,000 feet, more than 2 miles. Imagine walking straight downward into endless blue. At the bottom of the sea lie vast plains, towering mountains, and deep canyons, landscapes as dramatic as those on land, but hidden beneath the waves. Some volcanic eruptions happen under the ocean, forming entire new islands. What we see as land today may have started as fire beneath the sea. The ocean is filled with whispers. Whales sing, dolphins click, shrimp crackle, and even tiny fish hum. Together, they create a chorus of life, a soundscape hidden beneath the waves. A single blue whale can eat up to 4 tons of krill in a single day. And yet, despite their size, they move with incredible grace. The manta ray, with wings that stretch wider than a car, glides through the water as if it were flying. Gentle and calm, it feeds on nothing more than plankton. Coral reefs, though they look like rocks, are alive. They are built by tiny coral polyps, which together form vast, colorful ecosystems that support a quarter of all marine life. Some fish can change their color to match their surroundings. The ocean is full of camouflage, from sandy flatfish to the shimmering cuttlefish, masters of disguise. In some places, glowing plankton make the waves sparkle bright blue at night. Walking along those beaches feels like walking through the stars themselves. Squids have the largest eyes in the animal kingdom, as big as dinner plates. Their giant eyes allow them to see in the deep, dark waters where almost no light reaches. Sea otters hold hands while they sleep, so they don't drift apart. Floating together, they form rafts of families, bobbing gently on the surface. Kelp forests beneath the sea grow taller than trees on land. They sway back and forth with the tide, creating a green underwater jungle for fish, seals, and sea lions. Some underwater currents move with the force of rivers, streaming endlessly across the seafloor. They carry nutrients, heat, and life from one part of the world to another. Sharks have an incredible sense of smell. Some can detect a single drop of blood in millions of gallons of water. Yet most sharks are shy, avoiding humans completely. The ocean floor stores vast amounts of carbon, quietly helping to regulate Earth's atmosphere. Without it, our climate would be far less stable. Flying fish can leap out of the water and glide through the air for hundreds of feet. With fins that work like wings, they escape predators by soaring briefly into the sky. Some clams can live for more than 500 years. Resting on the seafloor, they quietly mark the passage of centuries. The coelacanth, a fish once thought extinct, was rediscovered in the ocean in 1938. It is sometimes called a living fossil, unchanged for millions of years. The ocean is Earth's greatest sound system. Waves crash, whales sing, dolphins whistle, and yet, in its deepest places, silence is complete. Every time you hear the ocean, your brain responds with calmness. The rhythm of the waves matches the rhythm of your heartbeat, gently slowing you down. There are places in the sea where hydrothermal vents release boiling water, rich with minerals. Life clusters around them, thriving in complete darkness, living off the energy of the earth itself. Some sea creatures, like the mimic octopus, can imitate other animals. With a shift of color and movement, they can look like a lionfish, a flatfish, or even a sea snake. The ocean is both ancient and new. The water we see today has been here for billions of years, evaporating, raining down, and returning again, in a cycle as old as the planet. And as you listen, as you breathe, you are connected to it. Every breath of air, every sip of water, every heartbeat, all tied gently to the sea. Some fish never stop swimming. They must move constantly to push water across their gills, keeping them alive in the endless blue. Imagine drifting endlessly, body in motion, carried by invisible currents. There are underwater caves that stretch for miles. Divers who explore them move carefully through tunnels carved by the sea, lit only by beams of light that pierce through cracks above. The deepest dive ever recorded by a sperm whale is more than 2,000 meters. They plunge into darkness, chasing giant squid, holding their breath for nearly 2 hours. Every drop of ocean water contains millions of tiny organisms. Some are so small they can only be seen with a microscope, yet they form the base of the ocean's food web, sustaining life from fish to whales. The moon's pull shapes the tides. Twice each day, the sea rises and falls in a rhythm that has guided fishermen, sailors, and entire civilizations for thousands of years. The Black Sea has layers of water that never mix. Its deep waters have been cut off from oxygen for thousands of years, preserving shipwrecks and secrets like a time capsule. Sea cucumbers, strange and simple creatures, clean the ocean floor by recycling sand and nutrients. Slowly, patiently, they keep the balance of life. Some seas glow in the dark. In places like the Maldives, bioluminescent plankton light up the shore, turning waves into glowing ribbons of blue. At night, the beach looks like it is dusted with stars. Manatees, sometimes called sea cows, spend their days drifting slowly in warm waters, grazing on seagrass. Gentle and calm, they embody the peace of the ocean. The currents that circle the globe connect every ocean together. A plastic bottle dropped in one sea might, in time, drift across the entire planet. Humpback whales sing songs that can last for hours. These songs travel across great distances, echoing through the water like poetry in sound. The sea otter's fur is the densest of any animal, with millions of hairs in every square inch. This keeps them warm in cold waters, where they float on their backs, grooming, eating, and holding hands in rafts. Some creatures of the deep sea produce their own light, not just for beauty, but to confuse predators, attract mates, or lure prey. Light in darkness is one of the ocean's most powerful tools. The ocean floor contains mountain ranges that stretch longer than any on land. The Mid-Atlantic Ridge is a chain of mountains that runs down the center of the Atlantic Ocean, unseen, but taller and longer than the Himalayas. In the silence of the abyss, temperatures can drop close to freezing. Yet even there, life finds a way, adapting to survive in conditions we could hardly imagine. A giant squid has eyes as large as dinner plates, allowing it to see in the pitch black of the deep sea. These elusive creatures may never surface, living lives hidden from human sight. The Pacific Ocean alone holds more than 25,000 islands. Some are volcanic, some are coral atolls, each a small world surrounded by endless blue. Some fish migrate thousands of miles to spawn in the same place where they were born. Salmon travel from rivers to the sea and back again, guided by instincts that scientists still do not fully understand. There are underwater rivers formed by dense salty water that flows along the seafloor. Divers describe them as ghostly rivers beneath the sea, complete with currents, banks, and even waterfalls. Marine iguanas in the Galapagos are the only lizards in the world that swim and dive in the ocean. They feed on seaweed, paddling gracefully through the waves before climbing back onto sunlit rocks. Every wave you hear on the shore began far away. Energy travels across entire oceans before breaking gently on the sand beneath your feet. The leatherback turtle is the largest of all sea turtles, able to weigh as much as a small car. They travel across oceans, diving deeper than most marine mammals, searching for jellyfish. When you look out across the sea, remember, for every drop of water you see on the surface, there is a vast unseen world below, filled with life, motion, and mystery. Some creatures, like the mimic octopus, can disguise themselves as other animals. In seconds, they can look like a lionfish, a flatfish, or even a sea snake, shifting colors and shapes as if painting themselves alive. The ocean's currents act like conveyor belts, carrying warm water from the equator to the poles, and cold water back again. This silent movement shapes the climate of the entire Earth. At night, the ocean is never truly silent. Shrimp crackle, fish grunt, whales sing, dolphins click. The soundscape of the sea is a hidden symphony, layered and alive. Seals can sleep underwater, surfacing only when they need air. Some even rest while floating in the waves, cradled by the ocean's embrace. The water of the ocean is in constant motion. Even when it looks calm, unseen currents swirl and twist below, carrying life and nutrients across continents. The ocean floor holds shipwrecks from centuries past, vessels frozen in time, resting where they sank, now serving as artificial reefs for fish and corals. The sea has always been part of our stories. From mermaids to sea monsters, from myths of Atlantis to sailors' legends, humans have filled the ocean with imagination, mystery, and awe. As you breathe slowly, imagine floating in calm water, your body weightless, drifting in rhythm with the sea. Every fact, every image, is another ripple carrying you further into peace. Some of the oldest living creatures on Earth are found in the sea. The quahog clam, for example, has been known to live more than 500 years, silently marking the centuries while buried in the sand. In the twilight zone of the ocean, where light barely reaches, countless fish drift slowly, their bodies adapted to survive in dim blue light. Their eyes are large, their bodies fragile, and many create light of their own to survive. The Portuguese man-o'-war looks like a jellyfish but is actually a colony of organisms working together as one. Its tentacles can stretch more than 30 feet long, drifting quietly with the currents. Some corals can live for thousands of years. Whole reefs are ancient cities beneath the waves, growing slowly, providing homes for countless fish, turtles, and crustaceans. The ocean absorbs more carbon dioxide than all the forests on land. Quietly, without us seeing, it regulates the balance of our atmosphere and helps sustain life above the surface. There are underwater waterfalls, currents of water denser and colder than the surrounding sea, that flow downward like rivers within the ocean itself. The largest of these is beneath the Denmark Strait, dropping nearly twice the height of Angel Falls. Sea snakes, some of the most venomous snakes in the world, live almost their entire lives in the ocean. Sleek and ribbon-like, they swim effortlessly through tropical seas. The Arctic Ocean's ice is always shifting, cracking, and moving. Yet beneath the frozen surface, life persists, from polar bears hunting seals, to tiny plankton blooming in the brief summer sunlight. Walruses gather in herds of thousands, their tusks gleaming as they haul themselves onto the ice. In the water, they are graceful; on land, they are clumsy giants. Some crabs can climb trees, while others live deep in the ocean trenches. They scuttle across every corner of the sea, adaptable and resilient. The manta ray, with wings that span more than 7 meters, glides as if it were flying in slow motion. Gentle giants, they feed on clouds of plankton, never harming a soul. The ocean floor is a place of extremes. In some places, volcanic vents shoot boiling water into the darkness, while only a few miles away, freezing waters press down in silence. Life adapts to both. Sharks have been on Earth longer than trees. They have survived extinctions, ice ages, and shifting continents, endlessly reshaped but never erased. The ocean is dotted with atolls, rings of coral that form around sunken volcanoes. From above, they look like circles of turquoise floating in the deep blue sea. Whales migrate farther than almost any other animals. The gray whale travels more than 10,000 miles each year, moving from icy Arctic feeding grounds to warm tropical lagoons. Some fish, like the parrotfish, sleep in cocoons of mucus they secrete around themselves, protecting them from predators as they rest. Sea urchins, covered in sharp spines, are slow movers but play an important role in keeping coral reefs healthy by grazing on algae. The ocean's color changes with its depth. Near the surface, it may look bright turquoise, while in the open sea it is a deep, endless blue. At the greatest depths, it fades into blackness, a void without light. Pelicans dive from the sky into the ocean, folding their wings at the last moment and plunging beak first to scoop fish from the water. The ocean's salt comes from rocks on land. Rain wears them down, rivers carry the minerals to the sea, and over millions of years the salt has accumulated until the ocean became what it is today. In the Gulf Stream, warm water travels north from the tropics, carrying heat across entire oceans and shaping climates thousands of miles away. The leatherback turtle can dive deeper than 1,000 meters, chasing jellyfish into the cold twilight depths. Despite their size, they move with quiet grace. Some jellyfish have been around for more than 500 million years. They floated in the seas long before dinosaurs walked on land, and they still drift with the same gentle pulse today. The ocean's waves are driven by the wind, but tides are guided by the pull of the moon and the sun. Together, they create the daily rhythm that has existed since Earth began. Every shell you find on the beach is the remnant of a life once lived in the sea. Snails, clams, and tiny creatures left behind their homes, polished smooth by the waves. Penguins gather in colonies of thousands by the sea, huddling together for warmth. In the water, they become swift hunters, darting through schools of fish like arrows. The largest living structure on Earth, the Great Barrier Reef, is made entirely of living organisms. It stretches more than 2,000 kilometers along the coast of Australia. Deep beneath the Antarctic ice shelves, scientists have found fish and tiny creatures living in darkness, where no light has touched for thousands of years. The dugong, a cousin of the manatee, grazes on seagrass in shallow waters. It is believed to be the inspiration for ancient mermaid legends, its gentle presence mistaken for mythical beings. As you breathe, remember that every second breath you take is made possible by the sea. Tiny plankton drifting near the surface give life not only to the ocean but to you, here, now. The rhythm of the ocean has no beginning and no end. It has always been, and it will always be. Just like the tide, just like your breath, just like sleep slowly pulling you into its calm embrace. Beneath the ocean's surface lies a hidden world of mountains taller than Everest, valleys deeper than the Grand Canyon, and plains that stretch for thousands of miles. These landscapes remain mostly unseen, yet they shape the currents, the tides, and the life above. The ocean floor is mapped less than the surface of the moon. In fact, we know more about Mars than we do about the bottom of our own seas. There are places where methane bubbles rise from the seafloor, creating shimmering curtains in the water. Strange bacteria live there, feeding not on sunlight but on chemicals released from the earth itself. The coasts we walk along are always changing. With each tide, grains of sand move, shells shift, and the line between sea and land redraws itself. No shore is ever the same twice. Some fish create nests on the seafloor, arranging shells and pebbles into careful patterns. These are not only homes, but displays of beauty, used to attract mates in the silence of the deep. Albatrosses can fly for months without touching land, gliding on ocean winds. They rest by sleeping while soaring, their wings stretched wide over endless water. Barnacles cling to rocks, whales, and even ships. Though tiny, they create communities that withstand waves and storms, holding fast no matter how rough the sea. The ocean is filled with invisible highways. Migrating whales, turtles, and fish follow routes that have been traced for generations, guided by magnetic fields, currents, and the stars. Some shrimp create bubbles so loud they can stun prey. Their snapping sound is one of the loudest noises in the ocean, though it comes from a creature only a few centimeters long. In the dark depths, gulper eels have mouths so large they can swallow prey half their size. Their bodies glow faintly, drifting slowly through waters no sunlight has ever touched. Some icebergs floating in the ocean are larger than cities. They break from glaciers with a roar, drifting silently through the water for years until they melt away. Every second, thousands of gallons of water move in and out of estuaries, places where rivers meet the sea. These are nurseries of life, where fish grow and birds feed, where land and ocean blend together. Seagrass meadows sway gently under the water, absorbing carbon and sheltering countless small creatures. Though less famous than forests on land, they are just as vital for life. Some crabs carry shells or sponges on their backs as camouflage. They wander the seafloor disguised, blending with their environment to avoid predators. The ocean has lakes within it, pools of dense, salty water that sink and remain separate. Divers who swim near them describe the eerie sight of rippling shores deep beneath the waves. Orcas, often called killer whales, live in family groups known as pods. They work together to hunt, communicate, and raise their young, passing knowledge down through generations. Some seashells grow with spirals that follow perfect mathematical patterns, like the Fibonacci sequence, repeating the same design nature uses in galaxies and flowers. The sea has always been humanity's mirror. Ancient sailors once believed monsters waited at the horizon, yet they still sailed forward, guided only by stars and courage. Some fish clean others by nibbling parasites from their scales. At reefs, these cleaner fish are essential doctors, keeping larger species healthy in exchange for food. Tides create tidal pools, tiny worlds left behind when the ocean recedes. Within them, starfish, crabs, snails, and anemones live together in little pockets of water until the waves return. Some whales can hold their breath for more than 2 hours. They dive into the dark abyss, lungs collapsing safely to withstand the pressure, before rising slowly back to the surface to breathe again. The ocean is the greatest library of Earth's history. Layers of sediment preserve clues of climates, extinctions, and life that existed millions of years ago. Some fish communicate with light, flashing signals to one another like lanterns in the night. In the deep sea, where voices cannot travel far, glowing bodies become a language of their own. Dolphins sometimes leap from the water for joy, twisting in the air before diving back into the sea. Scientists debate why, but perhaps it is play, simple happiness beneath the sun. Killer whales have been observed teaching each other how to hunt, proving that culture exists not only on land but in the sea as well. The smell of the ocean comes from plankton breaking down. That faint salty, sweet scent is the perfume of microscopic life drifting invisibly all around you. Some currents circle endlessly, like the Great Pacific Gyre, trapping floating objects for decades. Within them, debris collects, a reminder of how far even the smallest thing can travel. Flying fish leap from the water, catching the wind beneath their fins. For a few seconds, they leave the sea behind, sailing gracefully through the air before returning to the waves. There are places where waves rise more than 30 meters high, walls of water moving across the ocean with unstoppable force. Yet on the shore, waves can arrive as the gentlest ripples against your feet. Jellyfish have no bones, no brain, and no heart. Yet they have survived for 500 million years, drifting silently as the ocean's most timeless travelers. Some whales sleep with half of their brain awake, keeping one eye open as the other side rests. They drift near the surface, rising gently to breathe, never fully asleep, never fully awake. The ocean has colors beyond blue. In some shallow places, it glows turquoise. In the open sea, it deepens to indigo. At sunset, it mirrors gold and crimson. At night, it reflects only the silver light of the moon. Each grain of sand on the beach was once a rock, broken down by time, waves, and currents. Every handful of sand is a story of mountains ground down into smoothness by the sea. The sea is not still, even when it seems calm. Beneath the surface, invisible rivers flow, carrying warmth, life, and secrets across the world. As you listen, as you breathe, imagine yourself floating gently on this endless water. No beginning, no end. Just motion, rhythm, and peace. Some ocean creatures are so small, millions could fit on the head of a pin. Yet together, they sustain whales, fish, and even the air you breathe. The greatest giants of the sea begin with the smallest life. The moon jellyfish drifts with the current, pulsing softly. Its body is nearly transparent, glowing faintly in the right light, like a living ghost of the sea. The largest tides in the world occur in the Bay of Fundy, in Canada, where water can rise and fall by more than 15 meters every day. The shorelines there shift dramatically, as if breathing in and out with the ocean itself. Every year, millions of salmon return from the ocean to the rivers where they were born. They leap against waterfalls, fight through rapids, and give their lives to continue the cycle of birth. Sea lions gather on rocky coasts, barking loudly, filling the air with sound. In the water, they become agile, darting gracefully through the waves, hunting in groups. The swordfish can swim faster than 60 miles per hour, slicing through the water with its sharp bill, built for speed. Some sea snails build shells that trap tiny air bubbles. These allow them to float at the surface, carried wherever the winds and currents take them. Anemones, often mistaken for flowers, are animals. They wave their tentacles gently in the water, catching food as it passes by, while clownfish find safety among them. The currents beneath Antarctica create cold, dense water that sinks and spreads northward, regulating the climate of the entire planet. Some dolphins work together to herd fish into tight balls, taking turns to feed, each one benefiting from the cooperation of the pod. Shimmering schools of fish move in perfect unison, turning as one body. No leader, no command, only instinct, creating shapes that ripple like living clouds beneath the waves. The sea snake can hold its breath for more than 2 hours, weaving silently through tropical waters, rising only occasionally for air. Some eels migrate thousands of miles across the sea to spawn only once in their lifetime. Their young drift on currents until they find their way back to freshwater rivers. The deep sea is so vast that new species are discovered almost every time scientists explore it. Creatures we've never seen before emerge briefly from the dark, then vanish again into the abyss. When storms pass over the ocean, they stir up nutrients from the depths. These feed plankton blooms that sustain fish, birds, and whales for weeks. Seabirds like puffins spend most of their lives on the water, only coming to land to nest. They dive deep for fish, their beaks bright against the blue sea. Some coral polyps feed at night, stretching out tiny tentacles to capture plankton while the reef glows faintly under moonlight. The ocean's surface hides underwater canyons carved by ancient rivers, now drowned by rising seas. These hidden valleys stretch for miles, unseen but still shaping currents above. Some species of crabs migrate across islands in vast red swarms, moving in synchronized marches toward the ocean to lay their eggs. The Arctic tern makes the longest migration of any animal, traveling from the Arctic to Antarctica and back each year, a journey of more than 44,000 miles. Some sea stars can eject their stomachs to digest food outside their bodies, then pull them back in again. Slowly, patiently, they sustain themselves in ways unlike any other creature. The water pressure in the deepest trenches is so extreme it could crush steel, yet fragile jellyfish and fish survive there, their bodies adapted to what seems impossible. Some whales have been recorded diving deeper than 3,000 meters, holding their breath in the silent dark for over 2 hours before rising back to the surface. The sea surface reflects the sky above, mirroring clouds by day and stars by night. Lying by the shore, you can watch the sky twice, once above you, and once in the water. Hermit crabs do not grow their own shells. Instead, they search for empty ones left behind by other creatures, moving from one home to the next as they grow larger. Sea sponges, though they appear like plants, are animals. They filter water through their bodies, cleansing the sea around them, and they have existed for more than 600 million years. Some plankton glow when disturbed, leaving trails of light when a fish swims through them or when waves crash on the shore. This natural glow turns the ocean into a starry night. The sea holds mysteries beyond science. Ancient shipwrecks rest on its floor, entire cities have been lost to rising waters, and legends whisper of civilizations swallowed by the tide. The ocean is not only water. It is motion, sound, color, and time itself. Every tide, every current, every wave connects the past with the present. As you listen, feel the rhythm of the sea inside your breath. Slow. Steady. Unending. Just like the ocean, just like sleep. Some creatures of the sea never sleep the way we do. They drift, half aware, resting one part of their brain while the other stays awake, keeping them safe in the endless blue. The beluga whale is sometimes called the canary of the sea because of its melodic calls. In Arctic waters, their voices echo beneath the ice like soft songs in the dark. Every grain of sand on the ocean floor is the result of thousands of years of waves wearing down rocks and shells. Each piece is a fragment of ancient time, polished smooth by the sea. Some octopuses can solve puzzles, open jars, and remember solutions. Their intelligence makes them the geniuses of the deep, brief flashes of brilliance beneath the waves. The ocean's heartbeat is the tide, pulled gently by the moon. For millions of years, this rhythm has guided life, shaping coasts, feeding marshes, and telling creatures when to move. There are rivers within the ocean that flow endlessly. Warm currents rise, cold currents sink, creating invisible highways that connect continents in silence. Sea dragons, relatives of seahorses, float like drifting leaves. With delicate fins and leafy shapes, they disappear into seaweed forests, disguised by beauty. Some corals spawn in synchrony, releasing eggs and sperm all at once in a great underwater snowfall. For a few minutes, the ocean glitters with life, then the water grows still again. Walruses press their tusks into ice to haul their huge bodies from the sea. On land they seem heavy, but in the water they move with ease, swimming in graceful arcs. Some deep-sea creatures carry glowing organs on their bellies, hiding their shadows from predators below. They disappear by shining like the faint starlight above. A single drop of seawater contains more living organisms than there are people on Earth. Invisible, yet vital, they sustain the entire marine food chain. Pelagic birds like albatrosses and shearwaters live almost entirely above the sea, gliding for weeks without touching land, resting on winds that circle the planet. Some waves are born from storms far away, traveling thousands of miles across the ocean before they arrive gently on a shore. Every ripple is a message from another place. The narwhal is often called the unicorn of the sea, with a long spiral tusk that can grow 3 meters. Scientists believe it helps them sense changes in the water, a horn of hidden purpose. Some fish sleep by finding small crevices in coral, locking themselves in until daylight returns. Even the restless sea holds quiet places for rest. The sea's color is not just blue. Minerals, plankton, and sunlight paint it with shades of green, turquoise, violet, and even pink at dawn. Some turtles navigate entire oceans by sensing Earth's magnetic field. Without maps or compasses, they travel thousands of miles, always finding their way back. In the deep, lanternfish rise at night toward the surface, then sink back to the dark by day. This daily migration involves more life than all the land animals combined. The oldest known message in a bottle spent more than 100 years drifting at sea before being found. It carried stories across generations, patiently waiting for discovery. The sea floor is dotted with vents where life thrives without sunlight, using energy from Earth's core. These alien-like ecosystems remind us that life can adapt almost anywhere. Some dolphins can swim while sleeping, their bodies moving automatically as half their mind rests. They float, breathe, and drift, safe in the water's embrace. The ocean reflects the sky. On clear days, it mirrors blue; at sunset, gold; by night, it holds the moon and stars. Every glance at the sea is also a glimpse of the heavens. Sea otters carry stones they use as tools, keeping them in small pockets under their arms. They use these tools to crack shells, floating calmly as they eat. The giant clam can grow larger than a person, opening its shell to reveal brilliant colors shaped by light and algae living inside. In calm waters, the ocean's surface can be so still it looks like glass. Birds glide over it, fish break through it, and the horizon blurs into infinity. Legends from cultures across the world speak of the sea as a mother, a guardian, or a god. Whether feared or worshipped, the ocean has always inspired awe. Some sea snakes have lungs that stretch the length of their bodies, allowing them to dive for hours before returning to the surface for air. The clownfish and the sea anemone live together in harmony. The fish finds shelter among the stinging tentacles, immune to their poison, while the anemone benefits from protection and cleaning. The Arctic Ocean hides beneath a sheet of ice that changes with the seasons. Yet even here, life blooms, tiny plankton, fish, seals, and whales moving in and out with the light. And just as the ocean is never truly still, neither is your breath. Slow, steady, gentle. Each inhale, each exhale, like waves against a shore. Carrying you closer to rest, closer to sleep, closer to peace. Some creatures of the sea are translucent, their bodies like glass. They drift unnoticed, glowing faintly, disappearing into the water around them. The sea turtle has lived on Earth for more than 100 million years. Long before humans, long before many animals we know, turtles swam quietly through ancient oceans. Some fish can leap up waterfalls during migration. Salmon push against the current, jumping again and again, until they reach the calm pools where life begins anew. The ocean carries sound farther than air. A whale's call can travel hundreds of miles, echoing across entire basins, a voice in the endless blue. Some sponges can filter thousands of liters of water each day. They clean and purify the sea, working silently, anchored to rocks and reefs. In some places, waves carve arches and caves into the coast. Over centuries, the ocean sculpts stone, shaping shorelines into delicate forms. The giant oarfish, rarely seen, can grow longer than a bus. Thin and silver, it drifts in the rising only occasionally to the surface, fueling myths of sea serpents. Some seashells hold the memory of the ocean's music. Put one to your ear, and you hear the echo of waves, a reminder of the sea's eternal rhythm. Plankton blooms can be so vast they can be seen from space. Swirls of green, blue, and white stretch for miles, painting the sea with living color. The mola mola, or ocean sunfish, is one of the heaviest bony fish in the world. It drifts near the surface, basking in sunlight, appearing almost otherworldly. Some rivers meet the sea so gently that the water blends slowly, creating estuaries filled with life, nurseries for young fish and feeding grounds for birds. The octopus can change both its color and texture, blending perfectly into rocks or sand. In an instant, it disappears, a magician of the deep. Some dolphins have been seen using tools. They place sponges over their snouts to protect themselves while searching for food on the seafloor. The ocean is filled with patterns, tides, currents, waves, each repeating endlessly, each unique. No two waves are the same, just as no two breaths are the same. Some jellyfish pulses are so gentle they seem like heartbeats, moving in and out with a slow rhythm, carried wherever the currents go. In tropical waters, parrotfish chew coral rock, grinding it into sand. Much of the white sand on beaches is created by these tireless feeders. Some creatures live their entire lives attached to drifting seaweed, floating across the ocean without ever touching the seafloor. The deepest parts of the sea are in total darkness, but life still flourishes, strange, delicate, luminous beings, each adapted to the crushing pressure and endless night. Penguins launch themselves from the sea onto ice by leaping together, propelled by speed and strength, landing side by side in perfect coordination. Some islands in the Pacific are made entirely of coral, rising just above the surface, fragile yet enduring, surrounded by turquoise lagoons. The sea cucumber, slow and unassuming, recycles nutrients on the ocean floor. By processing sand, it quietly maintains balance in its ecosystem. Storms over the ocean can create waves that circle the globe, energy moving on long after the storm itself has passed. Some species of fish communicate with clicks, grunts, or hums, filling reefs with a chorus of hidden voices. The ocean has always been a bridge, connecting lands, people, and cultures. For thousands of years, sailors crossed it, guided only by stars and courage. Some whales bear scars from encounters with predators, boats, or ice. Each scar tells a story of survival, written on their skin. The sea's horizon always seems infinite. No matter where you stand, it stretches endlessly, merging with the sky, reminding you of both vastness and peace. Starfish can regenerate arms, and some can even regrow an entire body from a single limb. Slowly, patiently, they rebuild themselves. Some fish spend their lives near the surface, chasing sunlight. Others live so deep they never see it, adapted to an eternal night. The sea holds memories of ice ages and warm periods, locked in its currents and sediments, recording Earth's story across millions of years. And just as the ocean has no end, your mind can drift without boundaries. Every fact, every wave of sound, carrying you deeper into rest. Safe. Weightless. At peace. Some of the ocean's creatures rise and fall with the light. By day they sink into the deep, by night they return toward the surface, a migration larger than any on land, happening silently every evening. The harp seal pup is born with a white coat, blending with snow and ice. In the water, it becomes a swift swimmer, adapting quickly to its frozen world. Some corals glow under ultraviolet light, shimmering in green and red. Scientists believe this glow protects them from sunlight, a hidden shield beneath the waves. The sea is never empty. Even in places where no fish are seen, microscopic life floats, feeding, breathing, and moving with the current. The humpback whale breaches, leaping completely out of the water before crashing back in a spray of foam. No one knows exactly why they do it, perhaps communication, perhaps joy. Some currents move so slowly that water takes 1,000 years to circle the planet. Every drop you see on the shore may one day drift to the farthest ocean. The glass sponge, delicate and shimmering, has lived in the sea for millions of years. Its skeleton is made of silica, the same material as glass, and some colonies are more than 10,000 years old. Every shell on the beach was once a home. Carried by waves, polished smooth, each one tells the story of life that lived before. Some creatures are born in the sea but spend their lives on land. Others are born on land but return always to the ocean, as if drawn back by memory. The manta ray spirals upward in the water, performing dances with others, twirling gracefully in a ballet of giants. Some deep-sea fish carry lanterns on their bodies, guiding them through blackness. Their light is soft and blue, like starlight hidden beneath the sea. The ocean has seasons just like the land. In some places, blooms of plankton feed millions of creatures, while in others, calm winters leave the waters quiet and still. Whales carry the history of the ocean in their songs. Passed down through generations, these melodies shift slowly over decades, evolving like living memories. The ocean floor holds canyons deeper than mountains are tall, places of silence where life endures without sunlight, nourished by earth itself. Some fish live their whole lives within a single coral head, never venturing farther than a few meters from home. The sea is vast, but for them, one tiny space is enough. The tides have been steady since long before humans. They will continue long after, rising and falling as Earth turns beneath the pull of the moon. Every wave that reaches the shore is unique. No two patterns of foam are ever the same. Each one breaks, fades, and vanishes, never to be repeated. And still, the rhythm continues, breath in, breath out. Wave after wave. The sea teaches patience. It teaches stillness. It teaches that even the most powerful forces move in gentle rhythm, never hurried, never rushed. As you lie here, drifting, imagine yourself floating weightless on calm waters. The stars overhead, the waves beneath you, the endless horizon stretching in every direction. With each breath, you are carried farther from worry, farther from thought, deeper into peace. The ocean has no end. Its waves have rolled for millions of years, and they will continue forever. And tonight, those same waves are carrying you into rest. Let go now. Let the sea cradle you, safe and calm. Feel the tide rise and fall with your breath. Feel the water around you, endless and kind. You are floating. You are resting. You are free. And now, like the waves on the shore, let your thoughts fade. Let them dissolve into stillness. You are safe. You are calm. You are at peace. Good night.